What's up, baby Bobs? Purple Havarti here, YouTube's first influencer. Back at it again. Songs that made me love the artist. Now, today we're going to be talking about early 2000s artist, man. Band that I got into really late. It's one of the first bands that I got into by myself, just doing some research online, trying to get into new music, trying to find maybe somebody that's worth listening to, because at that time I wasn't really listening to that much music. Although at that time I started really playing music. I think the only band I was really listening to was Red Hot Chili Peppers. This band, man, they came, they swept me away. They changed the way I dressed. They changed the way I looked at life. They gave me hope for future rocks. They changed the way I wrote songs too. Because at that time I was writing songs as well. But yeah, man, The Strokes. The first song that I ever listened to last night, I was like, this sounds familiar, it's pretty good. It's very upbeat, makes you want to do the Carlton. It makes you want to dance. It makes you want to sing. It's got a lot of energy to it, and it's a very catchy song. But it didn't make me love the band entirely. I was still getting used to Julian's voice. It was too deep for me, a little bit lazy. It had that little distortion going to it. But yeah, it's still overall a good song and well written, and I could respect the song, and at least I could dance to it. And that was a huge, part of my sort of love for music, is being able to dance to it. And then I heard Someday, the next big hit off of Is This It? And I liked it as well. I thought it was more chill than last night. And to this day, it's top 10 of all time, like Strokes songs, maybe even top 5. But then after that song came the song that I really, liked, which was Hard to Explain. I don't know how I stumbled onto the song. I know it was one of the singles off of the album, but I had never heard it on the radio before. I just remember I wanted to really like this band, and that kind of sparked my interest into them. That really fed the amygdala, that really fed my brain into, wanting to do everything Strokes, wanting to listen to everything Strokes, and it's kind of timeless to me. The whole band is absolutely great, and to this day, I kind of listen to the song every now and then, and whenever it comes on in my playlist, it's a no skip. It hits hard, and it's the best song on Is This It? I said it, There's a lot of good songs on Is This It? I think of the modern age right off the bat. I think of Alone Together. Whenever it comes to Hard to Explain, it made me love the band, and it's like late into the album, and it comes in and kicks my butt every time, man. I love it. The melodies are great. Yeah, man, let's react to it. So the band starts with like an electric kind of drum that is so good and so infectious. I really like that. The guitars just come in strumming, and that's the main thing about the Strokes, man. They're going to be stroking down all day, stroking along, and I mean the name is very convenient for that reason. And the great thing about the Strokes, man, is while one guitar is just going absolutely crazy, the other one is painting a different melody through it, all like the wave hand, It's Friday kind of thing, the dolphin thing. They're doing such amazing work here, and it's working so well. They don't even have to build that often. As long as the melody's really good, then it takes it to a whole nother level. Great vocal delivery. I mean, it's classic Strokes at this point, but I mean, when it first came out, nobody knew what to expect, really. They just knew a New York band was coming along, changing the game up, sounding like the Velvet Underground, but adding their little twist to it, their little punk, post-rock revival kind of thing to it. And even the music video, too, Hard to Explain, is very good, aesthetically pleasing. There's interesting shots, there's a lot of cuts in it, and it really adds to the mood of the song. Coming from somebody who was in the early 2000s listening to Linkin Park, listening to, whatever was on the radio, Red Hot Chili Peppers, Smash Mouth, Smashing Pumpkins, and all that, go from that into this, where it's more different. It was a great time to be alive. There's so much musical choices going on. It sort of reminds me of what hip hop is doing now. There's so many ventures you can take in the hip hop world. You can listen to, Drake 1 minute, go the next minute listen to Denzel Curry. You can go the next minute listen to JPEG Mafia, and then you can go listen to Blade as well. Totally different spectrums of hip hop. And at the early 2000s, rock was really doing that. I mean, me in early 2000s, I wasn't listening to this at all. I was probably listening to Linkin Park, if I'm gonna be honest. They were more known over here. They were a lot heavier than this, but this sounds so freaking good. My brother one time caught me listening to the Strokes, and he said they just sound like a pure rock band. Like, if you wanted an alien to come down to this earth, alien, hi alien, hey, how you doing? Dab him up, give him a real good handshake, dab him up the other way, if he wants a hit. Maybe they ask you, they're like, hey man, what's some good rock music? You just hand them, is this it? And a room's on fire. And you just show them this song, especially this song, Hard to Explain, because sometimes it is hard to explain what a certain genre is. And I think the Strokes summed it up big time, what rock and roll should sound like and will sound like, in the future. Yeah, man, they're playing absolutely great. The two guitarists in this band, Nick and Albert, are just so good at balancing each other out. It's like they gel so well. Yeah, it's all working in this song in particular. And it builds up so intensely in that part. Both of the guitars are just going absolutely insane. Like, dude, they're just both going like downstrokes, upstrokes, and it's adding a lot of tension to the song. And it pays off with the hook, and we'll get to that now. Me personally, I'm not a huge fan of the hook part of this song. Even though it's catchy and I understand that it's a good hook, it's not my favorite of the Strokes hooks. I think Someday has probably the best hook, but I think the main reason is because the guitar in the background is doing the same melody. So it does add a little harmonic thing to it, but to me, I really don't care for it entirely. I think the rest of the song is so amazing. Ultimately, it is a good payoff. It lacks a little bit as far as the hook goes. I mean, that's my slightest complaint about the song. I've listened to the song a million times, so you can find anything wrong with something if you listen to it so many times. This might be the first song that I ever heard do that, where the band completely cuts and then they come back in. It works to great effect in the song. I love playing the song in front of people, playing it, in the car. We're driving along, they're vibing to it because, of course, you're gonna bop to Hard to Explain. It's such a good song. I think any fan of any genre would love this song. When it cuts off, you kind of look around, kind of see your friend's reaction. You try not to spoil the fun. A lot of them go, is this it? It's fantastic once it comes back. And it comes back, with everything. It doesn't hold back. It doesn't just come back with the drums. It doesn't just come back with the bass. They say, no. The Strokes say, we're going to bring everything back. We're bringing that wall and breaking in, man. It is so cool that they do that. It punches you, man. That's what the Strokes did, I think. They really punched rock into the mainstream and said hello, goodbye, kind of thing. They didn't give a F, man. They came in, everybody's like, what's gonna happen? What's next? Oasis is out of the building. Radiohead's doing some weird music. Who's gonna save rock? And Julian, Fab, Albert, Nick, they just come in and they're like, hey man, you don't have to worry anymore. It's okay. Giving the therapy to the whole gatekeepers of rock and roll. They're like, dude, you don't have to worry anymore. We're here to save you guys. Rock is looking bleak right now with new metal coming in, but guess what? We're coming from New York. Good guys, great melodies, and we're gonna save you. Easy peasy. And they came in and they did that, man. But yeah, man, this is the song that made me love the Strokes, man. It's such a good song. Comment down below. Tell me which song made you like the Strokes. Which song really got you into the band. I know, I can't be the only one that thinks Hard to Explain is a masterpiece. Let me know if you think, what you think of the song in general. I'm out.